As snow falls on the ground, large footsteps go through the forest. We see Benjamin walking by himself in the forest. He takes a deep breath, exhaling a lot of warm smoke from his body at the cold atmosphere. Wearing a thin, skinny black thermal jacket, he looks around, seeing a frozen river. He smiles and looks around. He bends down, touching it. River is very frozen. Feels like an inch if I had to guess, he says with footsteps behind him. Suddenly, Benjamin is hit in the back by a bunch of snow as he quickly turns around in surprise. Behind him, Rachel smiles, laughing, wearing a warm cap, a white winter jacket, and a snowball in her hand. "You did not just do that," Benjamin says in surprise. "Do what?" Rachel says innocently. She throws yet another one, hitting him in the chest. "Okay, that's it," he says as she quickly tries to scoop up and throw another one. Rachel panics, trying to get away as he dodges her poorly made, half-finished snowball. She tries to run, but Benjamin, who's much faster, catches her. "Hey, no fair!" Rachel loses her footing and falls down as Benjamin lands with her. He nearly lands fully on top of her. Their faces were very close to one another, and their faces begin to turn red as Benjamin stands on top of her. Are you okay?" he asks her. Rachel blushes. "Yeah, I'm fine," she says nervously. With their faces turning red, the two young adults start to move their heads closer to one another. As their faces nearly touch, they suddenly hear a loud shriek in the distance, startling them. Benjamin quickly gets up, lifting Rachel up from the snow. He looks out into the clearing with his sniper rifle, seeing a group of people trying to get a young girl out of the water. He heard more screaming and saw walkers in the distance. He saw some young men trying to fight them off. Benjamin moved quickly, handing Rachel his rifle. "Can you cover me?" he asks. "I know you don't use it a lot, but..." Rachel takes the rifle. "Go, I got you," she says. Benjamin smiles and runs off with his pistol as Rachel aims her rifle, eyeing a walker in the distance. She fires her rifle. A walker gets shot in the neck and falls backwards. Meanwhile, Benjamin is running around the lake with his backpack. In the lake, a family tries desperately to get the young girl out of the frozen lake. Benjamin fires his gun, killing a walker as he runs to the terrified family. There was a father, mother, and two young adults, males, both of which look older than Benjamin himself. "Who are you?" one of the young men shouted. Benjamin ignores him, pulling out a rope from his backpack. He stretches it out and throws it to the young girl in the river. She grabs onto it as the family helps Benjamin by pulling the rope. In the distance, Rachel fires her rifle, hitting the walker in the chest, knocking it back. Rachel sighed at her continued missing. She looked in her scope, seeing Benjamin and the family. As the family continued pulling, Benjamin let go and went to the edge of the ice. He slowly went to it and reached out, grabbing the young girl's arm. Benjamin pulled her body and checked her pulse. "Come on, she doesn't have much time," he says, carrying her in his arms. "I know a place where we can warm her up. Follow me," he commanded. The parents and brothers followed him. As Rachel looked on, a minute later, Benjamin came bursting through a wooden door with the girl. He set her by the fireplace as the family followed closely behind him. "Get her wet clothes off! Hurry!" Benjamin says as he goes through his backpack, pulling out a lighter and a small bottle of disinfecting alcohol. As the family stripped the wet clothes off of their daughter, Rachel came inside, startling the family. The girl shivered as Benjamin looked on. "It's okay, that's Rachel. She was covering us," he says, defending her. Benjamin throws the lighter inside the fireplace. As the warm fire is made, Benjamin removes his jacket, covering the half-naked girl shivering on the ground in front of him. Benjamin takes off his thermal shirts off, using it to warm her feet. "This will keep her feet warm," he said to the girl. Rachel looked on at the two of them, smiled at each other. She thanked him, shivering, as Benjamin watched the father walking towards him. "I can't thank you enough. You saved my daughter's life," the man offers his hand. "My name is Jeff," he says, thanking him. "I'm Benjamin. This is my friend Rachel." Rachel smiles, waving to the two of them as she is hugged by the mother. "Thank you so much!" She releases her hug, going to her daughter. "My wife Karen and our two boys, Jace and Victor," he says, pointing to them. Jace goes to Benjamin, shaking his hand, as Victor goes to Rachel. "Thank you for helping my family," making her smile. "It's nothing," she says, smiling back. "Nothing? You saved my family. Do you know how rare that is in this world? Especially now. You're a good person," he says, complimenting her. Back in the present, Rachel watches on the wall as Sean talks to her. Rachel! He shouts. Huh? She gets confused. You zoned out for a minute there. Are you okay? Sean asks, concerned. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I was thinking about that last winter we had, she confesses. What about it? He asks. Just how much fun it was. It was honestly the best Christmas I ever had, Rachel stated. Yeah, Benjamin breaking that tree was really cool. I mean, it was a fake, but it was still really nice, he stated. My parents always got real ones. They always smelled so nice. We didn't even do a Christmas that year before here, Sean stated. Rachel was surprised. Really? Why? She asked. Well, Sean was hesitant to answer. It wasn't easy after we took this place from the soldiers who used to run it. They didn't make it easy for us here. After Benjamin, John, and Carla killed the soldiers and took back control, Benjamin was different, more distant and indifferent. He didn't care about things like Christmas, but he finally gave it a chance. He's been like that for the last year. A lot more, well, alive. I can't help feeling like even if we do finally see him again, he'll be different. That he won't be the same, Sean says, scared. Rachel wraps her arms around him, hugging him. Sean hugged her back. How have you been taking it? Sean asked Rachel. Rachel sighed, brushing her hair. I'm keeping it together as best as I can. Trying to keep busy, she states. I miss him. A lot. But I know he's out there. This is just temporary, he says. Rachel smiles. Yeah, exactly. Sean releases her. Hey, I got an idea. What kind of dreams do you have? What are you hoping for in this world? Sean asks her. Rachel is surprised by the question. Like, what are you hoping for years from now? Where do you think we'll all be in the future? Sean asks her. Rachel looks up, watching the trees, pondering his question. I don't know, and I'm okay with that. I've always never known where my life would take me or my family, and despite everything that's happened, I still don't regret my life, but I might just have one regret, she says before stopping. What is it? Sean asks, curious. Rachel looks in shock, opening her mouth, looking at the sight of someone in the distance. Sean looks through his binoculars, not saying a word, and Rachel takes them for herself. Is that Benjamin? Sean asks. As she looks on, they see walkers coming from the bushes, coming towards him. I'll get John and the others, Sean says, but before he knew it, Rachel climbed over the fence, jumping all the way down, startling Sean. He screamed for her as she ran as quickly as she could, as she saw Benjamin hacking the remaining dead that were attacking him. Before he could react, she wrapped her arms around him, making Benjamin stop. Rachel began to cry as Benjamin stood there like a stone before raising one of his arms and gently placed on her back. Some time later, Sean and the others watched as Brandon comes through the gates with dozens of other people. I don't know how I feel about bringing these new people in, John says cautiously. Carla looks on. Aren't these the people that took Benjamin? How is he okay with this? She asks. Well, not all of them are bad people, right? There are some elderly and kids here too, he tells her. Yeah, I guess you're right, but I still don't like this. This is all moving so fast. I mean, Benjamin just got back, she said, unsure. Brandon walks to both of them. Brandon hands them some pieces of paper covered in dry blood. You should read these. Please, he tells them. John takes them. I'll read it. Can you two work together and handle them? I need to go tell Jeff about his son, John states. I didn't even think about that, Carla said, sad. If it means anything, I wanted to help save him too, but Xavier and his brother didn't give us a chance, he stated. I know, but You helped us get Benjamin back. We owe you for that, truly, John says, as he places his hand on Carla's shoulder. I'll be back in a while, he tells her. Meanwhile, Benjamin was in the infirmary as Hannah looked over him. He took off his jacket, revealing his heavily bandaged arms. Hannah was surprised, but tried to regain her composure and prepare herself to look him over. I need your shirt off too. Please, she asked. Benjamin looked uncomfortable, but he begrudgingly removed his shirt, exposing his toned body and very many scars. Hannah covered her mouth in horror, seeing all of them. He had a giant X on his back, as the lines were perfectly centered on his back, like the mark of a monster. His arms were branded in various cuts, and he had small cuts all over his back around the X mark, including his wounded shoulder from the time Damien grazed him with a bullet last year. He had more scars on his back than areas of untouched skin. Even though he didn't have eyes on the back of his head, he could see her look of shock. I know you're scared, Hannah. I don't blame you, he tells her. In the hallway, Rachel, Sean, and Carla were talking quietly with each other, whispering. Did you see the bandage on his back? They asked. Benjamin seems different. I knew he would be, but... Sean says sad. Of course he is, Carla says, holding Sean. It's been over 2 weeks. We don't know what they did to him, Carla defends. Where's John? Rachel asks. He's telling Jeff and Karen about Jace, she states. Oh God, I can't imagine how hard that must be for them, especially after losing May, Rachel says sadly. Inside the room, I know they're talking about me. I have some things to tell you guys, Benjamin tells Hannah. One week ago. In the woods, Brandon pulls out his gun and whistles. I know you're here, man. Please come out. I want to see you, he says. Nothing happens. Okay, he says, dropping the gun to the ground. A figure soon emerges from the forest, pointing a gun at him. Benjamin lowers it and looks everywhere. You weren't followed, were you? He asks. No, I made sure to cover my tracks. I can't believe it's really you, he said, very happy. He tried to come closer, but Benjamin stopped him. No, I can't, Benjamin told him as he grunted in pain. Benjamin took some medicine and put it in his mouth. Oh God, Ben, what did they do to you? Brandon asked. It's not important. Don't worry about me, he tells him. I'm happy to see you, actually, but we can't be seen with each other. I need your help. He hands him a phone and some papers as well. Brandon takes them, very confused. I have to go before they realize I'm gone, Benjamin tells him. Who will find out you're gone? He asks. The Ragers, he told him. What? He shouted as Benjamin grabbed his mouth hard, covering his mouth. Not so loud, he whispered. Benjamin kept his hand on him. If I let go, can you please not scream? Brandon nodded. Benjamin let go of him. Why are you with the Ragers? He asked. Benjamin rubbed his head, groaning. I have a plan, but to get rid of them once and for all, I need your help. Please, Brandon. They attacked my community a week ago and killed my friends. I'm going to kill every one of them for that, but I also need to kill Xavier too. I need you to take that phone and follow those instructions, he told him. Brandon thought about it. I know this is your group, and it's a lot, but I'm asking you for your help, Brandon, to stop both of these groups from hurting my friends again in one strike without any more of my friends dying. Will you help me? He asked. Brandon looked at the items he had. I'll do it. Benjamin nodded. Thank you, Brandon, he said, grabbing his hand and shaking it. Back in the present, Benjamin sits at a table where all his friends gather. Sean, Rachel, Carla, and Ayumi listen. I owe you all an explanation about what happened that night. I'm relieved that you're all still alive and in good health, Benjamin says without much emotion. When I went off against the takers with Jace to buy you guys time to escape, we were outgunned and taken. They killed Jace. We didn't tell them anything about where we lived. They still don't know where Nest is. But, unfortunately, one of them, the leader's brother, killed Jace before I could do anything. I managed to escape and kill him. Benjamin puts down a piece of paper. I was able to find a list of every guard that Xavier had in his camp. I also discovered that my old friend from before the outbreak was not only alive, but a part of this very same group. His name is Brandon. After I escaped, I set the trailer they kept us in on fire to cause a distraction and make my escape. After I left, I tried to make my way back home. But on the way, the Ragers found me before I could make it back. Their king tried to kill me, but I was able to turn the tables and kill him instead, he stated. Wait, you killed their leader? Carla asked, shocked. Benjamin lifted up his hand. Yes, Carla, but please, let me finish. I'm barely halfway done, he said sternly. Carla and the others were surprised by Benjamin's coldness. He brushed off Carla's concern for him. I killed their leader. They called him the king. They followed a barbaric cult-like code of following the strongest, so after I killed him, they chose me as their new king. When this happened, I saw an opportunity to take out both of the hostile groups to our community and keep everyone here safe from any danger. I decided to act as their leader and divert the Ragers and Takers' attention towards each other to keep Nest safe, he stated. Everyone was blown away by all this. Why didn't you let us help? Carla asked. Benjamin looks at her. Because I didn't want another person here to be captured or killed from one of my plans. I didn't want to put anyone in this community in jeopardy, so I had to keep my distance until it was safe enough for all of you to see me again. I didn't want someone to die like Jace, he finishes. The next day, Benjamin goes with John and Sean to the armory as the other residents see them. I'm glad you're all okay, but we're not out of this yet. I don't trust these people here. I need your help moving the guns out of here, Benjamin tells them. Why? John asks, confused. I don't trust the new residents here. Tensions would run high if they knew I was the leader of the Ragers for weeks. I don't want a civil war brewing. These people don't need to know what I did, Benjamin states. As Benjamin and the others start to carry crates out of the armory, Peter watches on. We see Peter going to Brandon. I know you trust these people. It's a nice place here. But we don't know anything about them, Peter stated. We don't? But this is a safe place. We have kids, and Xavier was never the right leader for us. We made him the leader because we had an enemy in the Ragers, and no one could see he was a psychopath, Brandon confirmed. I'll catch up with you later, he says, leaving Peter. Elsewhere, Kyle is approached by Lawrence and another Taiko. Kyle, can we talk to you? They ask, joining the conversation. Hey, Brandon, can I ask you something? He asks. Carla knocks on Benjamin's door. Benjamin looks in the people and lets her in. Hi, Ben. Can we talk, please? She says. Sure. What do you want to talk about? He asks. She sits down. I want to know why you did that. I know you explained it to us, but I was worried about you. We all were so worried. We looked for you and Benjamin sighs. We're soldiers, Carla. We have to protect this place. Protect everyone here, he says with no emotion. Is that all we are, Benjamin? Soldiers? Don't you hate it? Did you consider how much it would hurt us to think you were dead? She asks. Of course I did, he tells her, annoyed. Then why did you ghost us and join the people who killed May and Andrew? Because I had to! No one else was gonna do what I had to do to save the rest of you! He tells her. He sees her shocked expression. I shouldn't have raised my voice. I'm sorry, he tells her. Ben, what happened to you? She asks. I haven't been sleeping since that night. I've killed 146 humans. When I killed the Ragers, some of them weren't evil, but I killed them anyways. The truth is, you should keep your distance from me. I don't want anything bad to happen to you too, Carla, he states. Carla cries, wiping a tear from her eye. Well, maybe I never wanted to be safe. Have you ever thought about letting me make my own choices? You're not in charge of me. I don't care if I die. I just wanted to be by your side. But I can't, can I? She asks. Not in the way you want. I'm sorry, Benjamin tells her. Carla gets up and slowly leaves without saying a word. At nighttime, Benjamin comes back from the outside. Brandon lets him back inside the community. Brandon waves to him. Want to tell me where you've been? He asks. Maybe later, Benjamin says as he takes some pills. Bro, you should stop taking those. If I stop taking these, I'll drop exhausted. I need the caffeine, he tells him. No, you need sleep, he tells him. Benjamin then sees a dark figure in front of him, behind Brandon. Remember me? Benjamin asks him. Benjamin gets surprised as Brandon sees his friend's startled expression. Bro, are you okay? He asks. You're not real. You're just a hallucination. Suddenly, Benjamin is hit with a metal bat clashing to the back of his head. Benjamin drops to the ground as someone tackles Brandon to the ground from behind. Hey, get off of me! Someone help! But the man covers his mouth. Another man goes to Benjamin's side and pulls out his handgun. I got it. Should we finish them off? As Benjamin lays there, barely hearing anything, he looks up. Hey, stupid. Snap out of it. I thought you were a wolf. But are you really a sheep? Benjamin says to himself. Are you really gonna die here? He asks. Are you really gonna let them kill Brandon? Just like they killed Jace? Benjamin screams and gets up. I thought he was knocked out, he asks. We did. Don't shoot. They'll hear. The man swung the bat, but Benjamin caught it and headbutted the man before slamming the bat into his neck. Benjamin used all his force, adding pressure to the bat, making a cracking sound. One of the men aimed the gun, but Benjamin then took the bat and swung it, hitting the man's head, forcing him to drop the gun. Benjamin then slams the man into the stone ground and proceeded to stomp his head. He is suddenly tackled to the ground, but Benjamin grabs the other man's arms and puts him in a headlock using his legs. Benjamin screamed, pulling with all his might as the man stopped moving. Benjamin then dropped him, but he saw the last attacker aiming his gun right at him. He was too far to stop him. Just then, a figure comes from behind with a knife and slashes his throat. He sees Brandon holding the knife as the man chokes. Benjamin then moves forward, grabbing his gun before firing into the man's head, killing him for good. Brandon breathes heavily. Holy sh! Are you okay? He asks. They were covered in blood. Benjamin looked and saw the community. Everyone in the community was up from the loud gunfire as Rachel looked on. Ben, are you okay? What happened? She asked, running to him. Blood was pouring from his head. I'm fine, he told her. They saw the bodies laid down. What have you done? Peter asked. What have I done? I think it's pretty clear what happened to me. I defended myself against these bastards who tried to kill me and Brandon, he shouted. Hannah went over to one of them. John, help me with them! As John signaled for more people to help him. That's impossible. Why would they try to kill you? He asked. Sir, earlier today, Lawrence and them told me they believed Benjamin was the former leader of the Ragers, Kyle told them. Everyone gasped in horror at hearing this. What else did they tell you? Peter asked. Kyle continues. They said that he was the guy Xavier took that night. That he was one of the guys we captured. Peter was shocked. I remember now. You were the one who burned down our home that night, Peter stated. Brandon stepped in. No, Peter, that's ridiculous, he says, nervous. You always told me Benjamin was your best friend from before. Taken? With my son! Jeff tackles Peter to the ground. You took my son! Did you kill him? He shouted, punching him in the face. Rachel tries to run, but Benjamin stops her. Jeff is restrained, but Victor attacks. Let go of my dad! He shouted, hitting one of the takers. A massive fight breaks out. Cover your ears, Rachel hears from Benjamin. She does so. Having enough, Benjamin fires his gun in the air, startling everyone. Kyle is right. I was the leader of the Ragers in those 2 weeks. From you all losing your home to now. Why did I do it? To kill your leader, Xavier, he tells him. You monster! You killed my friends! Peter says, angry. So did your leader. You guys were the ones who attacked us. You started this war. If you want to leave, go ahead. I won't stop you. I only let you all in because Brandon told me the rest of you were good people. I believed him, he told him. And where will we go? He asked. I don't care. If some of you want to stay, that's fine. Like I said, I don't care. I don't expect us to gather and sing Kumbaya, but I will kill you and the others before I let you hurt one of my friends. Are you threatening me? Peter asked. No, I'm warning you, Benjamin finishes. Brandon looks at Peter. Peter, I can explain, he says. No, you've done enough. I guess I really never knew you, he says, saddened. Peter looks at his people. We're leaving. All of us, he tells them. The next day, in the infirmary, the heart monitor goes down, ringing, as Hannah runs to Lawrence. She tries to stabilize him, but he flatlines. John quickly pulls her away and drives his bladed arm into his head, immediately stopping his reanimation. Sometime later, Peter and the other takers bury him as they pack up and leave with their belongings. Kyle stays behind, and we see him walk up to Jeff. I'm sorry about your son, he said to him. Why are you still here? He asks him, angry. Because I need to stay here. I have some things I need to take care of, he tells him. Like what? He asks Kyle. Hey, are you okay? Carla asks Benjamin, seeing his bruises. Have you slept at all? She asks, concerned. No. Hey, listen, I need a big favor, he tells her. What is it? She asks. Can you follow them? He asks. Follow them? To where? She asks, confused. Anywhere. I need to know if they're going back to Xavier. If they find him, I need you to radio us. I know this is a big ask, he tells her. It is, and I've been having doubts about you, she tells him. But I also trust you too much to not listen to you. And you actually letting me do something for once is, well, it's better than you always risking your neck out for us, she tells him. So you'll follow them? He asks. Of course. For what it's worth, I think it's a good idea. We need to make sure this isn't a mistake. But while I'm gone, promise me you'll finally get some sleep, she says. I'll try, Carla, he tells her. She nods. Okay, she says, leaving. Hours later, we see Benjamin go on the guard post to see Brandon. He goes up to him and they talk. They look on the deserted street, seeing a mile of distance. No walkers in sight. Thank you for saving me, Brandon told him. You did the same for me, right? Benjamin replied back. Do Do you remember those nights when I come over to your house? I always went to your house because I always had the most fun with you. Away from home. Your mom made the best chicken Alfredo. God, I miss that so much. Your mom was always watching her drama shows with the Byzantines, and your dad was always ranting about politics, like the Hilton family. Brandon joked. Milton, Benjamin corrected him. That's right. You always had the better memory of the two of us. As they continued to sit in silence, Brandon continued to reflect. Your dad always told us we would have to experience the end of the world, but he always said it would be from people, soldiers in black armor, that eventually they would come for us and kill everyone, Benjamin stated. Yeah, but he was in a way right. Maybe not about the black stormtroopers, but the fall of society, the fall of civilization and our lives. It's so easy to destroy than to build. For 18 years, we've been building our lives to go to college, graduate, get a job, make our claim on the world, and now there are so few people left to share this world with. Honestly, man, it's scary when you think about how close humans are to extinction. But we'll never get there. Yes, we're making the dead's job easier by killing each other, but I'm sure one day we'll get to see real peace in the world. Just the two of us, he said, hopeful. There will never be peace, Brandon. Humans have been killing each other since Cain killed his own brother, Benjamin said cynically. No, there's more to life than this. A future, he stated. Like what? Benjamin asked. Maybe with Rachel? Yes. Benjamin looked away a little nervous. She would never go for me, he stated. And how do you know she wouldn't? Brandon asked. You gotta stop burying yourself in that dark, messy place you call a head and look at what is really around you, bro. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on everything in your life. Look, I know it's hard. Hell, impossible. But promise me you won't stop fighting. Not to survive, but to live. For a future. I want to see you happy, man. Our lives are short enough without you depressing yourself, he advised him. Brandon, how can you be so positive about everything? Everyone sees me as a monster. I've killed 150 people, and Xavior is still out there. How can you be this happy after everything that's happened, he asked. Because I guess that's just how I am, he said, happy. This world makes people cruel. It always has, he stated. Brandon smiled. Actually, I think people make this world cruel. There are good and bad people in this world, and you're not a bad person. I know the Benjamin I met all those years ago when we were kids. The guy I love is still in there, even if you don't believe it. One day, you'll think back to this, because you'll remember how right I was and how wrong you were. And finally, I'll have been the one who gets one over on you. Brandon smiled. Benjamin and Brandon continued to sit on the guard lookout post, watching the sunset as in the neighborhood, Rachel watched from the distance. She gave a slight wave and smiled. She left the two of them alone.